All right. Sounds like Shauna's about got dinner done here. So I'll be heading over there. And look, the sun hasn't even gone down yet. It's getting close. But eating before the sun goes down, this is like revolutionary. We're overlanding peacock style here. And this was like a last minute. We only took just a few minutes throwing everything out of the truck into here and just came up here. Shauna's got corn getting ready to go, got burgers, cheese, all that kind of stuff. It's going to be pretty awesome. Shauna's got a double stacker here. I don't think she'll be able to get that in her mouth.
Well, you're not taking a picture of that one.
And I am going to do this, and I'm going to...
You need a spoon?
I use mine.
Huh?
I got one in my pocket.
Oh, okay.
My handy spoon and fork set. So I'm going to do slaw like we do in the South. Place we were eating the other night had this left over, and they said they needed to get rid of it, so they gave us a whole thing of it.
I'm going to try a little bit of it.
Well, this thing's going to be messy. Look at that juice dripping out of there. Ah, that's so good though. Now this is a sweet slaw, so that's a little, you know, when you live in the South, like I was down there 25 years or so, everywhere you go has a different kind of slaw. So, you know, but this works real nice here. Oh, very good. By the time I get done, there's going to be stuff everywhere, though. It's going to be a mess. Video on eating supper without any lights. It's not 10 or 11 o'clock. This is very rare. Thanks, Shauna.
You're welcome.
Here's our sleeping for the night. Shauna's in. And dang, she is not going to get cold.
Nope, she's not.
She's got a beast under her. She's got a extra thick Climashield blanket on top of her. And her other blanket that she takes everywhere camping.
Can that hang over my rope?
I stick them through these. I just hook the thing through there. That's how I do it. Then I've got it. Of course, you might not need it during that, I guess. I don't know.
Okay, all right, thank you.
There's that. There's my setup over there. I haven't put any bedding in there yet, but when I go to bed, I'll be doing it. Well, the fire's about ready to start from the coals left over from last night. While I was gathering firewood, Shauna cooked breakfast, so now I'm eating earlier than normal for breakfast too. A little milk. Go, 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 go.
I just don't need the smoke in my face.
As soon as the flame takes off, that'll all be gone. Yes, that's a bigger column of smoke. Really coming. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come.
There it goes.
That was pretty close.
You were.
I was about a second off. We found the mother load of chokecherries here. These bushes right here are loaded up with chokecherries. Right there. See them in here all over. Let me raise the camera up. There you go, as far as you can see down there. Acres and acres and acres of chokecherries. Alright, we just made a quick little jaunt up on the ridge here and picked us some chokecherries. Well, we got a pretty decent amount of them actually. So to make chokecherry syrup, and then once that's made, we're going to use fresh chokecherry syrup, picked wild, picked today, on pancakes. This is going to be so awesome. It's absolutely insane. It's crazy, but it's how Peacock, it's how we do overlanding, man. This is how we roll. So the first thing we want to do is we want to pour enough water in here to cover the berries. That's pretty good right there. Just enough to cover them good. All right. So up here they go. I keep a lighter in here. Yeah, it's getting ready to boil here. I scoop out some of these cherries, and they really are. It's a chokecherry. It's a wild cherry. You see how the skins have popped? They've burst. And that's what we want to have happen. A lot of these have already burst. See that? So you see the juice is starting to darken up. All right. So this juice is looking pretty good here. So now we're gonna pour the juice out. This is just a little old beat up strainer we got in our cooking supplies. Kind of go right there for now. Let's see how much juice we got out of there. There's 1 cup. There's 2 cups.
Basically 3 cups.
3 cups. We want to make syrup out of this, so we're going to do an equal amount of sugar in there. We got to dissolve the sugar in there. All right, so now we got to dump 3 cups of sugar in here. Let that dissolve down. This will make the most wonderful syrup. Just stir it out a little bit. Okay. All right. There it is. Now we got to cook it enough to where all the crystals are thoroughly dissolved. All right, taste a little bit of it.
Oh, that's nice. Here now. That is nice. Yum.
Tastes like old-fashioned cough syrup. May not sound good, but if you're in your mid-60s and you remember cough syrup when you were a kid, they tell me this is what they used to flavor it with, was the chokecherry, wild cherry. All right, you see now we got a little simmer going on, a little boil. You see how nicely as this stuff kind of cooks down? See, we were clear up here. Boiling syrup right there. Chokecherry syrup. Now this right here, that's camp cooking. That's overland and Peacock style, and even got my compadre with me, Shauna. So we're doing this together today. I've been sitting out here, and once everything cooled, it was pretty thick. I think we're pretty good. If we go too much, we start making candy out of it. All right. I'll just put some in there to use for syrup. Look how pretty that is. Wow. That's good. Man, that is gorgeous. That is gorgeous syrup right there. Gotta get something going for that syrup. Golden brown, is that what we're looking for? I think so. Gonna be beautiful. Fresh made. Just barely starting to cool down a little bit. Might be still a hair runny still, but it's gonna be awfully good. I got my ice in my milk, so I'm set now. It's time for breakfast. Now, if you've watched my videos very much, you know that I love the chokecherry syrup. But I'm going to tell you what, nothing tastes like chokecherry syrup than, what, maybe 2 hours ago we picked the berries, and now it's syrup. That is heavenly. Oh my gosh, that is so good. Ugh. I mean, there's something about freshness that's crazy. I mean, when stuff is this fresh, you can't go wrong. The flavor, I mean, it's always good, but the flavor right now is so deep and so, it's just like exploding in my mouth. It's absolutely amazing how good this tastes. And you see, it's not that hard to make it at camp either. You know, give it a shot sometime if you get a chance. This is absolutely 100% awesome.
That's good, huh? Delicious. Absolutely
I mean,
delicious.
that's even better than regular chokecherry syrup. Being like 2 hours ago it was on the bush.
Yep.
2 hours ago, the berries were on the bush, and now we're eating them on pancakes. We just barely made it into sugar. We just barely made it into syrup. I mean, I'm telling you, it almost has too much flavor. It is crazy good. We need to pretty much fill this whole pit full of coals. Then we're going to bury the Dutch oven, bury the whole thing down in there. Let that thing cook for a few hours. So there's our little bonfire kind of thing. When that burns down, that pit will be clear full of coals. And we'll be, by then we'll be ready with our pot, our cast iron pot. We'll completely bury the thing in the coals. All right, so we're going to do us a nice roast here. Shauna's had it thawing out. Nice roast there. Oh, that's going to be beautiful. Later this afternoon, we're going to eat this thing. Now she's got some onions kind of sliced up here, and we'll just kind of throw them around in here. Now we got some beans, kind of scatter those around in there. I might just kind of dump the rest of this, some carrots and stuff. Now we'll grind us some salt here. Nice coarse grind. And then, you know, you gotta have plenty of pepper. Get that on there. This stuff's gonna cook for 3, maybe 4 hours. I don't know. So there's all that. I gotta add a little water to it. I'll do it the old-fashioned way, right out of the. Take a look down in there. A little more. Something like that. So there we go. We're not worried about time because we're not cooking this in an oven. We're starting out hot because we're going to bury it right in all the coals. but as time goes on, it's going to cool down. When you bake something in your oven at home, it stays hot the same temperature the whole time. So it's a little more temperature sensitive, but with this, it's going to be hot at first and get cooler. So even if we leave it in there an extra hour or so, it's not going to hurt it because it's gradually cooling down a little. Dig down in here a little bit. I'm going to have to be quick because that is awful hot. I better get the camera phone out of my pocket or I'll dump it in the coals and it'll be toast. Okay, this is really hot. So here we go. Ah, woo! That's all I can do right there. Oh crud. I'm gonna knock the lid off of it. Okay. So all these coals go up on top of here. So we just found this clump of elderberries, which are, oh, these things are absolutely luscious. It's just absolutely loaded with berries, and these things are so ripe they're about ready to fall off of here. Ooh, flavor is really good, nice and sweet. We're looking for chokecherries across the way down here. Somebody been in and picked them all, picked clean. So we drive them back to our other spot on the mountain and saw this clump right here and thought, we're gonna just nail these guys right now. All right, so Shauna's gonna hold the bag, and I'm just gonna clip them. Oh yeah, there's a nice bunch right there. You got it. That's the mother load right there. These things are loaded. Those berries. So off this one little clump of bushes, you got all these berries. Holy cow.
13-gallon bucket.
We're gonna make some stuff out of all this. That pit's still pretty warm. It's been almost 4 hours. We've been all over the place, picking berries and stuff. I would say everything's done. It ought to be after 4 hours. And kind of simmering. So we'll just slice that roast down. Oh, it's tender. It is tender. Tender and juicy. Steamy.
Okay, then you can put those on my plate.
Well, everything's definitely done. I kind of like some of those vegetables are roasted a little bit. Right. Dig in here. I like the potatoes a little bit roasted on the top. Good stuff. We got our roast. Nice, juicy, tender.
This was really good.
That is a good roast. Almost don't even need teeth to chew it. Well, almost. You could probably gum it. The other day, Friday, we pitched this up. It was looking a little rainy. We got the Ultralight, our new Ultralight rectangular tarp over top of an Ultralite Poncho, and we got our Ultralite Tarp kit that we use to suspend the tarp over it all. These little tarp worms right here, this little metal gadget, you don't, all you do is pull like that and it's undone. No trying to pry any kind of a knot undone or anything. To hook it up, you just flip a loop just like that. That's it. So just tension it wherever you want to go, flip a loop, pull it over it, done. What we've done this kit is we've just put it on a piece of shock cord. So here's my setup. I just threw half my tarp back over the back, and so I had a Osney narrow blanket in here. I put a torso beast in the bottom here. Lay on. It's give me a little insulation from the cool breeze blowing through. And this is one of our Super UL ponchos. You can see right here, set up as a tarp or as a hammock. Set up Super UL poncho, set up as a hammock. For cooking the syrup, it's like we did for the pancakes and everything and the jam. But what we're doing is we're cooking it longer and hotter. We've got to get it so it converts to what they call hard crack, so that when this stuff cools, it'll be hard. It'll be a hard candy instead of soft. This stuff is cooked to the point where it's cooked to the point where it's basically taffy temperature right now. If I string that in the water, see how it kind of stays stringy, and see how I pull it out of there. Right there is like taffy material, I think. Once we get a little, well, no, that's actually hard. That's actually going to be hard candy right there. So I'm just going to do a quick little setup. Ready for camp. With my, I've got an Ultralite Poncho right here in PSSL size, and I'm going to hang it with the new simple. Just keep on trying to simplify. I'm going to use some Dyneema cord with eye, and that's what I'm going to hang it with. And I've got a couple little test connectors I'm going to do, but normally I just tie it with a couple half hitch knots around the tree and I'm good to go. I got a little Ultralite tarp kit right here. That's all there is to it. Weighs a few ounces. And I'm going to hang this. This is one of our new Ultralite rectangular tarps made out of the Super UL fabric. Unpack the poncho. It's a poncho, a hammock or tarp, 12 tie-out tabs around the outside. This one's in Coyote Brown Super UL fabric, which is also X-wide. Has a cord sleeve in here, got to drop a cord down through there to turn it into a hammock. Dyneema cord with an eye is about 10 feet long. It has an eye built in one end, and the other end is just double back on itself to give an end. That's all there is to that cord. I just hang something from the eye just to give it a little weight. Put the free end of the cord through the eye. Drop the slack. Gives me a gathered in hammock right there. So I have a little experimental fitting here. The end through here. So it goes like that. You turn a loop like that, you pull it, locks it on the tree. That's all there is to it. This is a little different kind of fitting here. Put that through there. I take the whole thing around the tree and I just start pulling however much slack I need to pull, and then I just hook it right there. I bring it up, I twist a loop right there. I'm in. I need to adjust anything up and down the tree, anything like that, I can just unhook it, hook it back, and that right there will hold. And then the hood turns into a pocket by drawing up the drawstring like that. We're going to take some Doritos here, and we're going to make some nachos. We're going to do it Perry style here. So what we do is take some foil and just kind of lightly crunch it, not crunch it really hard, just a little bit. So what that does is gives us a little space off the bottom of the pan. And we set our pan here and there. That's where the chips will go, and then we'll cut some cheese. I don't think we have a grater with us.
We do, don't we? Isn't that right below you?
It's kind of nice using these Doritos for the chips because they got a little flavor on them already. So you kind of start off that way. Now put some cheese on there. We're going to let that melt right in. Alright, so we'll just grate us plenty of cheese on here. This thing's from IKEA. It used to have a plastic bowl that you grated the cheese into, but so how do you know if you have enough cheese? Well, if you pretty well can't see the chips, then you know you're good. Alright.
Wow.
So we go like that. Then we're going to put the lid on it. I'm going to shovel fresh coals underneath this thing. We got everything right there. I'm going to pull this back a little bit because it's hotter against that side of the fire there. And now the final thing we do here is we heat up the lid. That'll melt the cheese. Alright, let's check it out. It's getting there. It's starting to melt. Just a few more minutes. Alright, I've brushed the coals off. Nice and melty. That's what we want to see. There we go. Get some salsa on there and we'll be good. Alright, go for the salsa here. Little Pace's pecani sauce. Oh yeah, right there. There we go. Gonna be good. I'm liking it. This is a good afternoon snack, I think. It'll do the trick. Okay, so this is our tarp. Pull it out. I've left in place my shock corded connectors right here on all the connection points. So that way I just pull it out. I don't have to put them in. I'm ready to connect up my ridge line. I'm ready to connect up my tent stakes and all that. Don't have to even fuss with it at all. As part of my Ultralight tarp kit, I have a 30-foot hank of parachute cord, Dyneema cord. And so I just unstring all this. I'm going to use a method here called a continuous. It's kind of a continuous loop for my setup here. So around my tree, and I can adjust it later. It connects up here to to a tarp worm. What I've got right here is an experimental thing I'm working on, but our kit comes with a tarp worm, which I'll show you in just a moment when we do the tent stakes. Here I've got another connector, and once again you'll have one of the tarp worms. This is just an experimental piece I'm working on, just for kicks. Anyway, so that holds it all in place. So now if I need to position my tarp over my hammock, because I'm going all the way around the tree, see there's my end of my hammock, I want to cover that. All I got to do is it slides, so I just slide it to center it where I need it. I've got it centered over my hammock. So all I've got to do here to make the tarp worm work, and you'll have 6 of them in your kit. You won't have the experimental ones I'm working on. Not yet. That's going to be a while. So we just twist a loop. So you're making a half hitch is what you're doing. Let go of it, you're done. That's all there is to doing this. If I need to adjust something, I just pull on it. Now it's loose. I just get it however tight I want. I twist that loop, I'm hooked back up. Got my tarp over top of my hammock, and I can adjust this up or down or however I need to get it dialed in how I want it. But that's how simple it is. And I'm trying to make it as compact and small as I can. And so we never stop experimenting.